What's up, YouTube? Heretic here. I'm back profiling the Bronzong Mega Aggron deck that I played on camera against Jakeupp. Uploaded this last weekend, recorded it at the Dayton, Ohio Primal Clash pre-release. Anyway, you guys were asking for deck lists, so I'm going to give you guys one of the lists right now. We should be doing the Primal Kyogre one probably sometime early next week, since I'll be out at OhioCon all weekend. Anyone who's going to be in the Columbus area and who's going to be attending OhioCon, feel free to say hi. I'll be there. Anyway, start off, we run a 3-3 Bronzong line. Most metal decks, I know right off the bat, run 4-4. In the current format with Dialga, when you have the extra space because all your other hitters are basics, I think the 4-4 is the right call. Based on how much space we have, I think the 3-3 actually works fairly efficiently in this list. Especially considering that, unlike with Rayquaza and Electric back in the day, you think about that as like 4-4 eels. But you also had to continually recharge Rayquaza every turn, whereas in this case, you charge up your Aggron, and then the only time you would have to recharge it would be if you have to like retreat or play a max potion, or if you get hit with a lot of hammers. So, I mean, if you get hammered like that, like maybe Aggron had one too many beers, something like that, yeah. Otherwise, 3-3 works pretty well. And then we've got 2 Aggron EXs. His attacks are not great, but they don't really have to be, seeing as to how we're mainly using him to go to his Mega. However, they're also not terrible, honestly. And then we got 2 Mega Aggron EXs, and this is your main attacker. 2 metal, 2 colorless, 120, option 2 if necessary. If you're not KOing with the 120, you can flip a coin. Heads, you go up to 240. Tails, you still do 120, and you do 20 to each of your bench Pokemon. We have ways around that. And we also have ways to make it better than a 50% chance, of course, that you get the 240 damage for the OHKO. Then we play Aegislash and Heatran as one-ofs. Aegislash is mainly for the Donphan matchup or any of those big fighting decks, because they start laying down like strong energies. Seismitoad will lay double colorless down. It's just a way to be able to kind of stall out against it. And then Heatran, just as a 1 prize attacker, hits that magic 130, which is really useful. 80 damage if you have a stadium out, which we do play a stadium in this deck. For 3, not a bad starting attack. Also not a bad opener, since it can force what could potentially be a 7 prize game. Just an all-around pretty good card, I feel like, for metal decks. And then we play 2 Victory Star Victinis, and this is so that Mega Aggron can flip the coin not just once to see if you get the 120, but twice, going from a 50 to a 75% chance of dealing that ridiculous 240 damage that will OHKO anything in the game not named Whale or EX. So yeah. That's our Pokemon lineup. Then supporters, we have 4 Professor Sycamores, because there's absolutely no reason not to be playing a full set of them. And then we play 4 Ends, because we're not playing Lugia, so might as well. Pair of Colress, because this deck does load up the bench. I mean, a lot of times you're going to try to get at least 2 Bronzors down early. You want your Aggron down. You're eventually going to try to set up your Victini on the bench, and these guys, just depending on the situation. So all in all, you're gonna put up a decent bench with this deck. So no reason not to go with Colress, especially since I feel like in general it is a better card than, say, Shauna or Professor Birch. Then we play 2 Lysanders and a Tech Pokemon Center Lady to get out of being locked up by stuff like Hypnotoxic Laser. If all my attackers were basic Pokemon, I would, or like even evolutions, but didn't need like a Spirit Link, I would go ahead and probably play AZ instead of Center Lady. But seeing as to how we would lose our Spirit Link if we Center Lady'd Aggron, I don't think I'll stick with Center Lady. Or, I mean, if we AZ'd Aggron, I'm sorry. I think I'll stick with Center Lady then. And then an extra, in the case of the 25% bench damage we would take from Mega Aggron, that is our stadium coverage. We play 3 Mountain Rings. Serves as a counter stadium as well, of course. And that right there, that's our Pokemon supporters and our stadiums. So, got those all right there. And then we'll get into items here. 4 Versus Seekers. These might as well just count as supporters, realistically. I mean, like, I'm not running Jirachi, and, you know, for a while I was in a position where I was like, I don't want to play anything without Jirachi, but as I, you know, as I went from 2 to eventually 3 and now 4 Versus Seekers in so many decks, I mean, it just seems so good. And especially when you combine it with Battle Compressor, which in this case will also drop energies from your, will drop energies from your deck to the discard pile to use with Bronzong's ability. Take out anything you might not want to draw during that particular match, and also potentially ditch a supporter or two, either early game to set up for a VS Seeker, or if you have one in hand, you can just compress the supporter you want and then just grab it back. It also makes the one of Pokemon Center Lady a lot more clutch because you can reuse it. Prevents me from having to go to a 3rd Lysander and all that stuff. So all in all, pretty good. 4 Acrobikes. My personal favorite card from the Primal Clash. I do feel that Teammates has a bit more potential, but I'm not running that in this deck, seeing as how Aggron has 240 HP, and unless they're hitting me for weakness, it's not likely to get KO'd too quickly. So 4 Acrobikes basically speed up draw, discard, you know, stuff you don't need, energies, you know, you could pitch a supporter and just get it back with Versus Seeker. I mean, there's really a lot of things you can do with such a simple card, and honestly, it's kind of crazy. But definitely digging these, and it looks like they short printed these in the set, which is kind of a bitch, but of course I've been wrong before, but pre-release I went to, we hardly saw any of them. But yeah, 4 Acrobikes, definitely. No reason not to, unless you don't have the space, which we're fighting to make that space in here. 3 Ultra Ball, Pokemon Search, pretty good, standard. 3 Switch, and a Computer Search, because I still feel like it's the best ace spec in the game. Dowsing Machine is pretty good though. And then 2 Aggron Spirit Links, of course, to not end our turn when we Mega Evolve, because I hear that's pretty good. 4 Double Colorless, Aggron, Heatran, pretty much all of our attackers. Aegislash, they can all benefit from this. And then we play 7 Metal Energies. Yeah, they're pretty good. Oh, sorry guys, I got a phone call. Hello? Yeah. Oh, the Super Bowl's this... Oh, I forgot the Super Bowl was this weekend. I was so wrapped up in OhioCon. Oh, you reminded me that I gotta make a pick. Oh, yeah, that's right. I do that, even though this is a Pokemon channel. Alright. Yeah, I don't see why not. Alright. I will get to it. You'll be able to see it on my channel just like everybody else. I'm not going to tell you ahead of time. No. You don't get those kind of privileges. I'm sorry. Alright. See ya. Cheers. Sorry about that. Anyway, it has come to my attention that Super Bowl 49 is being played in a couple days, so let's adjust the camera here. There we go. Yeah, see me now? Oh, sorry about that. Can you see me now? Good. I used to hate those commercials. So Super Bowl 49, we got the Seattle Seahawks, who came back from behind in epic fashion against the Green Bay Packers, and we got those guys who like to deflate their footballs. Yeah, the New England Patriots. If any of you haven't seen that Cialis Inflatable Patriots gag commercial, I'm serious. Go look that shit up. It's fucking hilarious. Anyway, getting to the pick. Man, this is a tough one. I don't expect it to be the blowout that it was last year when Denver played them. That game was hilarious, but oh god, do I think Seattle's gonna repeat? Well, I feel like, Tom Brady doesn't make the amount of mistakes that Peyton Manning does, and I feel like Russell Wilson's still, even though he got a ring last year, I feel like he's still, he's got some experience to gain, but he's a pretty good quarterback. And of course, DBs, this is all about, Aurora. It's all about, having defense. I mean, you got Darrelle Revis on one side, you got Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor on the other. The way I see this playing out, though, I see the Patriots, just grinding it out early, maybe getting a field goal and a touchdown, getting like 10 points. Maybe they lead something like 13-7 at halftime. And then, I think Seattle kicks a field goal, New England scores another touchdown, so it's 20-10. And, maybe it ends up like 20-17. Either way. And 20-17, going into the fourth quarter, New England's got a chance to, drive down the field and seal this thing away, but I think this is a time when the Seattle defense just kind of at least steps up for one drive and try to see, but, Russell Wilson just not able to get something done in that passing game. But wait, what's that? It's the forecast. Oh, my goodness. All right, halt. I don't know if New England will get the ball back in the fourth quarter, because right now the Arizona forecast for University of Phoenix Stadium, where the Super Bowl is going to be played for Sunday evening, specifically during the fourth quarter, states that it is going to be raining Skittles. Marshawn Lynch, 26-20. The Seattle Seahawks will reign for the second consecutive season, knocking off the New England Patriots, who ironically were the last team to win 2 Super Bowls back-to-back. And thus Brady, you can always say, like, well, how can you go against Tom Brady? He's got 3 rings. Well, so does the circus. Anyways, that's my Super Bowl pick, and before that, my Bronzong Mega Aggron deck profile, at least my rough draft list. I hope to see you guys all very soon. More deck profiles, more match videos coming your way shortly. Cheers.